All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about networking today, but probably not in the way you're used to thinking about it. Let's just forget the awkward small talk and the frantic business card swaps for a minute. Today, we're going to reframe networking into what it really is, one of the most powerful tools for genuine growth, both for you and your career.
Be honest, when you hear that word networking, do you kind of cringe inside? Yeah, if you said yes, you're definitely not alone. For so many of us, it just brings up these images of forced conversations and collecting a stack of business cards that, let's be real, you're never going to look at again. It can feel so transactional, so icky. But what if we've been looking at the whole thing completely backwards?
This right here, this is the fundamental shift in mindset we're talking about. See, the old way was all about volume. How many contacts can I collect? And the first question was always, what can I get from this person? But the new way, the way that actually works, is all about depth. It's about building real, genuine connections. And it starts with a totally different question. What can I give?
And that simple question leads us straight to the absolute bedrock of modern networking. Before you can ever expect to get anything out of your network, you have to build it on a solid foundation. And that foundation is made of real, authentic connections. This is square one.
So, okay, how do we actually do that? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It really breaks down into 4 key actions. First, just be yourself, be authentic. People can spot a fake a mile away, so show up as you. Second, really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk, be genuinely curious about the other person. Third, and this one is a total game changer, give without expecting anything back. Share an article, make an introduction, offer a piece of advice. And finally, follow up. A single conversation is just a moment. Consistency is what turns that moment into a real relationship.
You know, the ultimate goal of those 4 steps is really simple. It's to build trust and respect. Every time you're authentic, every time you truly listen, every little bit of value you offer, you're making a deposit in that bank of trust. And that trust, that becomes the real currency of your professional relationships. Without it, all you really have is just a long list of names.
So, once you have that foundation of trust in place, you can start building the next layer, which is influence. And listen, this isn't about manipulation or anything like that. It's the natural, organic result of being a valuable and trusted person in your network.
I love this definition of influence. It's about creating opportunity without having to rely on your job title or your position on an org chart. It's that ability to have a real impact simply because people trust your judgment and value what you bring to the table, not because they have to listen to you. That's real power.
So, how do you build this kind of genuine influence? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward, but it absolutely requires consistency. You do it by demonstrating that you're good at what you do and that you're reliable. You do it by sharing what you know, by sharing resources freely to help other people get ahead, and you do it by always acting with integrity. People naturally give influence to the people they can count on.
Here's a perfect, everyday example of this in action. Think about that person in a meeting. They might not talk the most, but when they do, everybody stops and listens. They aren't necessarily the boss, right? They've just earned that influence, bit by bit, by consistently offering smart, helpful advice. They've built up their credibility, one valuable contribution at a time. Okay, so you've built the foundation of trust, you started building the mechanism of influence. So what's the payoff? Well, this is where it all comes together. This is where your network starts to actively create and unlock real, tangible opportunities for you.
A strong, relationship-based network is like a career accelerator. It plugs you into this huge pool of knowledge that's way beyond what you could ever know on your own. It gives you access to crucial resources. And, most importantly, it puts you right in the path of new opportunities, whether that's a new project, a new job, or just a piece of game-changing advice.
But of course, let's be realistic. No professional journey is perfectly smooth. Misunderstandings happen, disagreements and conflicts are inevitable. Now, a weak transactional network, it just shatters under that kind of pressure. But a strong relational network can actually come out even stronger if you know how to handle those challenges.
The key is all about professionalism. When a conflict comes up, you've got to address it head-on and constructively. Don't just let it simmer. Your goal shouldn't be to win the argument. It should be to find a solution that works for everyone and preserves that relationship. And this is huge. You have to avoid the blame game. Taking that collaborative, problem-solving approach actually reinforces the trust you've built, especially in those tough moments. It shows the relationship matters more than the disagreement.
So let's wrap this all up. This entire process, from giving value to getting opportunities, isn't just a straight line. It's a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle, and I love to call it the networking flywheel.
Think about a big, heavy flywheel at a gym. You know it takes a lot of effort to get it moving at first, right? But once it's spinning, each push just adds to its momentum, and it starts to turn almost on its own. That is exactly how this approach to networking works. It's a virtuous cycle that builds on itself.
And here's precisely how that flywheel spins. It all starts when you give value. That giving builds trust. The trust you've earned gains you real influence. That influence, in turn, creates new opportunities for you. And guess what? Those opportunities give you even more chances to provide value. And the flywheel just spins faster and faster, generating incredible momentum for your career.
So the big takeaway here isn't to go out and meet 50 new people tomorrow. It's to start spinning your own flywheel, even if it's just with one small push. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking at the people you already know, what is one connection you can strengthen this week? Who could you help? Who could you share a useful resource with? Start right there. That's how you get the wheel turning.